Hi there, it's good to be back again to serve you with this week's edition of the Premium Times podcast. I'm your host, Titilope Fadare. Remember weeks back when a heavy downpour made the National Assembly complex almost a rich land for fishing? Okay, maybe that was an exaggeration, but the complex was again this week waterlogged. Despite 9 billion naira allocated in the 2020 supplementary budget for the renovation of the complex, its roof saw another embarrassing leakage after a heavy rainfall. Buckets were the little saving grace as they were put under the dome of the White House to prevent water from flowing into the lobby, thanks to the cleaners. But the lawmakers have said they will investigate the leakage. Investigate? When will they ever stop investigating, really? House Speaker Femi Gbajabiamila said the leakage was very important to himself and his colleagues. The House spokesperson Benjamin Kalu said the leakage justifies the controversial 37 billion naira allocated for the renovation of the building, which triggered public outrage. In other news, the federal government said although it has succeeded in identifying the high-profile individuals financing terrorist activities in Nigeria and has blocked their sources, it was not willing to name and shame the criminals. Rather, it said it would charge them to court. Attorney General Abubakar Malami had since May announced that the Nigerian government was about to begin the prosecution of about 400 Boko Haram financiers and was profiling some high-profile Nigerians strongly suspected to be financing terrorism for prosecution. 4 months on, the AGF said the government was not giving up as the investigation is ongoing and advancing. But he made no further disclosures. Who are these high-profile criminals? Will they be forgotten if they repent? Will justice ever be served? Nothing interests Nigerians more than having these curiosities satisfied. Mr. Malami, show, don't tell. Talking about the terrorists, the ones disguised as bandits, residents of a Sokoto community are losing their patience. 12 hours after the terrorists kidnapped and later killed 2 persons in Tangaza community of Sokoto State, residents tracked down and killed a total of 6 of the terrorists. Armed cutlasses and local guns, and working with the police, members of the vigilante in the community decided to take their fate into their hands. Even after the police arrested 4 of the suspected kidnappers and took them into custody, the angry residents of the community retrieved the arrested suspects, lynched them, and burnt their bodies. The bandits have terrorized the community for long, kidnapping, killing, and stealing their foodstuff, but the residents said not again. Hopefully, authorities will read the meaning in these retaliatory attacks and secure the threatened communities. Meanwhile, the acting general officer commanding 7th Division, Abdulwahab Eyitayo, said more than 8,000 Boko Haram terrorists have so far surrendered to troops. He said the terrorists surrendered from their enclaves in Sambisa Forest as well as other hideouts. He attributed the surrender to the overwhelming firepower of the troops and because of the terrorists' families' well-being. He said the blockage of the criminals' logistics routes and supplies, bombardment all over, and diseases overpowering them is another reason they are surrendering. The GOC warned that a time will come that the window of surrender will no longer be available, urging the sympathizers of the terrorists to encourage them to come out. He added that whoever supported the enemies of the state would also be treated as an enemy of the state forces. As always, this edition was written by Yusuf Akinpelu. I'm Titilope Fadare. See you next week. And please do not forget, if you like this podcast, please share and favorite, and also visit www.premiumtimesng.com to catch the latest edition of this podcast series.